Hello and welcome to the buffet where we mix up food, music, and culture on one big platter. Today's guest is very special to us, personally too. He's like my little brother. Other than that, he is a Desi artist doing so many things in Denmark that nobody else has done before, fusioning stuff in a way that we haven't heard. So I really wanna give the biggest applaud. If there were like a studio audience, it would be the biggest applaud because I'm so personally proud of this guy. Give it up for Hasan Shah.
No, thank you for the big words. It means a lot.
But like today, I am low-key fanboying because I've been listening to Hassan's music since I was a kid. Not to make you seem old, but since I was very young, I've listened to like from Tuori and just listened to your music grow from there. Now you're pushing this Bailefunk Desi vibe, and as an aspiring DJ, it really inspires me. What you're doing, it's international, it's fresh, it's great.
It's great.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Means a lot.
First, I want to know, how are you doing? Like, it's been a while.
Yeah. It's been, what, 2 months since we last saw each other for the release party?
It's only 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It seemed like ages ago.
Maybe 3,
Uh-huh.
but time flies, you know.
It does.
But I'm good. I'm doing really good. Just keeping busy with lots of projects. I've been a bit quiet on social media, but we all know what that means.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
The anticipation, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Very
just been working in the studio a lot these days.
You also went to India.
Mm-hmm.
How was your trip? I haven't heard from you since.
That's true, yeah. I just came back like a few weeks ago. I had like a month-long journey to India, solo trip by myself. So in many ways it was daring and it was very much out of my comfort zone. I have like a couple of connections there. I have some good friends like Tanzil Khan, which I did a song with. But other than that, it was like meeting with industry people, meeting up with new people and share ideas and learn and just to strengthen your network kind of thing. And to be honest, I'm not good at that mingling thingy. I'm really bad at it, but it went quite good, I would say. Yeah, and the food, but we can talk a lot about that.
Oh, you want to know about the food. Okay, but let's rewind it back to when you actually started, maybe to MGP.
Yeah.
And what you said before, I wanted to comment on that because we did talk a little bit about this thing that when some of your friends go with you, they're like much more social and you're more the artist, a little bit mysterious. But I think you're one of the guys I've met throughout my life that has shown the most courage. You were courageous as a kid standing on that stage, in front of so many people. And breaking boundaries like that, for me, really takes some courage. So maybe you should give yourself credit for that. Also, getting out of your comfort zone, going to India by yourself. Who does that?
Yeah.
And creating connections for yourself, because a lot of people can do that if they have a crew with them, because it seems like, it's easier to have somebody to speak on your behalf, but being able to do that really takes for me a lot of self-confidence too. So be proud of yourself. This is the comment
thank
from
you.
your big sis.
Yeah, I know that. But to be honest, I've been building up until now, and now I'm at like an independent journey, and I know the importance of doing things by yourself and really stepping up and take some bold moves and just be out there, because things will not come to you, especially if you're an independent artist. You have to do like double the work to get seen and to,
Yeah, that's true. And I think like you not just being the artist, but also sometimes the technician behind so many things, instructor, directing, and producing also. So it's like a one-man army in one sense, although I know you do have a lot of talented people that are backing you up and helping you with that. But I've always seen you on set fixing camera, fixing lighting, fixing everything that is possible to fix.
But I'm in a way very nerdy about that. So both perfectionist, but also I love to be a part of all the processes, So I love talking to people about, okay, how do you do this and how does this work? Even when you were like, you guys were doing stuff, and I was just like looking, oh, okay, yeah. So that's how you do it, right? So I'm kind of a nerd in that sense.
That's really cool. Okay, I really wanted to rewind back to MGP because it's so cute and it's so nostalgic because we just recently had MGP. Maybe that like your journey from then to now has been very colorful, I would say. You have changed a lot throughout the years, which would be very natural because you were how old were you when you were on the stage?
I
And
think I was 14, 15 years
14,
old.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot has happened since, but you also had like major breakthroughs in Denmark doing music with Geely and other big artists. And your big hit, Tuerie, which also like blew a lot of people away. Can you share a little bit about that journey? Like, how was it for you?
Tuerie happened in a time where I was studying. It's the official architect school here in Denmark, the Royal Academy.
Oh.
So it was a big thing for me, also my family, obviously, because I'm from a Pakistani household. So I was studying there, and I remember when I wrote Tuerie and a couple of other songs, it was in a period of time where I was experimenting a lot. I was doing stuff that I would not normally do for myself. So I was experimenting with writing songs as if I was writing them to someone else, but singing them myself. And Tuerie was actually one of those songs. And I remember there was a very specific time in an exam in the school that made like a turning point for my life and my career. I had a big exam, a big presentation in the school in front of the whole class. After my presentation, the teacher said, "Are you done?" I was like, "Yeah." She said, "I think you should consider if this is the right place for you."
Oh shit.
And it was really hard words and really tough.
Wow.
And she said something like, "I think you don't respect your time and you don't respect our time here at the school." And I didn't get it at that point. But I think those particular words were necessary for me to hear, for me to take that bold step to go all in on music. And I think it was meant to, because that was the time when I did Tuerie, that was the summer, and that really opened the doors for me. So I think those words, they were very precious to me from the teacher. They were like so true and honest and really necessary for my journey. So from that point on, I did Tuerie. It did really good. And a thing I think people don't know about that song is I really checked a mark with that song. And that was, I wanted to make a song in my lifetime that would be a part of some people's childhood and youth, you know? And I think Tuerie is one of those songs that really resonates with a whole generation in Denmark.
100%.
Because I hear it a lot, like 10 years after now, I really sense, okay, I checked that mark. I've made a song that really lives in the memories of children and people now, adults, but their childhood memories. Because
And it really does. I listen to Tuerie and I feel nostalgic to
yeah,
a sense.
yeah.
So I feel like if that was what you wished for, you really did great. Because whenever I talk to any of my peers of the same age, of course they know Hasan Shah's Tuerie. Of course they do. If they don't, did you have a great childhood?
Yeah.
So like going from Tuerie and like juggling with school and stuff, how did you know that music was more than a hobby to you? Like that you really wanted to pursue it?
The thing about calling music a hobby, I think it's a very, everyone says that in the beginning, but for me it was just passion from the beginning. So from the first time I just like sang with my best friend in his room, like karaoke's. It was not just hobby, it was more than that. It really felt good. It was a passion, like people are passionate about football or anything. So, but turning that passion into something that I want to make a living out of, that was in that era of time. But it has always been there. Even before MGP, I was in a song contest. Do you remember Sing Nadine, The Stage Is Yours?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was in that as well. So it's always been a part of me, like the music and the singing and the stage performances and stuff. So
You're also good at it. Like,
Thank you.
Some are really born with the talent. And I know that you come from a very musical family. Like your sisters, they have beautiful voices, and everybody's very, like when we do our traditional singing at weddings and stuff, it's always them, you know, singing the loudest and the best, actually, to be honest with you. So you're blessed with a great voice and a presence that is very giving to others, because you share so much as an artist.
To be honest, I've never put so much of myself in the music. But of course, music is a very delicate thing that when you put out a song, it's not like just you go at an office, do your job and go home and then you're like chutti and you're free, you know?
Yeah.
You're living it. Like
Yeah.
every song you release, the aftermath, it's very personal. But in the art, in the music, I don't tend to, of course I get inspired by a lot of things around me, but I don't tend to use like personal stories.
Really?
And yeah. And I think that's just my way of doing art. I'm very inspired by movies, for instance. I'm very inspired by TV series and stuff like that. So if you look at my whole catalog in the Danish music, you can pinpoint actually some TV series that you could say, oh, he's inspired from that and he made this song. You understand? Like Tuerie is in many ways all of the crime and the thriller movies that I've grown up with in a song, you know?
Yeah.
So in that sense, I'm not that personal, but yeah, I just see it like as whatever comes to me as inspiration. I just let it flow out in the song. So
When I heard some of your love songs, I was like, this dude has really been in love. Like,
that must be Ramis.
because he helps write the songs.
Yeah, Ramses is my like companion. He writes the songs with me.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really good and talented. So, but yeah, I think love is very universal. And when you've grown up with Bollywood movies, you get a sense of everything, and you're inspired from other songs and from other words and stuff. So, yeah, I would say that's how it goes.
But there's also no like, I would say there's no recipe to art, you know? And,
Yeah.
like, every person does art in their own way. So you interpreting a story you see is still very personal because that interpretation is personal to you. Does that make sense?
Exactly, yeah. But I would also rather say that sometimes when I write a song or even perform a song or act in a song, I play a character for the song. Like, I see myself as the character more than, and as you've known, like the Bailefunk and Bailefunk, you know me as a person, and that is so much of a character that I'm playing, you know, and I enjoy doing that. And so I think in many ways that's how I will describe that. When I write a song, it's more based on characters or, some themes, and very inspired by movies actually. And that's also one of the things, when I write songs, I see images in my head. There's different ways of writing, but for me it's very much like watching a whole scene. And I think that's why it also comes very natural for me to storyboard and to direct the music videos afterwards, because I've already seen the movie, you know?
Yeah, I get
so,
you.
yeah.
With you playing this character in your new album Bollywood, was the fusing with Desi and Bailefunk, was it like experimental, or were you just like from the start you knew that Baila and Desi is just gonna go together?
I think Bailefunk would go well with any genre, you're right? Because it's just in the core of the genre is so good. And I think I'm very fond of the genre, and I've been that for several years. Like, it was back in 2017 or something that I first listened to the music. When I say Bailefunk, it's not just the commercialized Bailefunk songs that are today out, but the real hardcore from the favela, you know, which if you would play it for anyone, they would say, what is that? Like, they wouldn't understand it. But I think I really understood the concept and the spirit of Bailefunk, which is why it has been growing inside of me in all those years. And we managed to make a Danish major hit back in 2018 with a guy called Navid. It was Rum Bum Bum, which was also inspired by Bailefunk. So I believe we were one of the first ones in Denmark to like present the sound in a way. Doing it myself, it would, as I told you, it's a very like big character that I'm playing. So it was more about taking the step and say, okay, now I'm ready to like experiment with that character and do this kind of music and actually release it, because some of the songs have been done like several years ago. So, but to have the courage to say, okay, now I want to experiment with this, let's do it. That was really liberating. And the genre is very liberating. So,
but somehow I also felt like you grew, or you adulted a little bit, we saw another side of you because Hasan has always been very cutesy, you know, pop. And
I'm still.
you are still very cute.
I'm kidding.
But I was also like, your music was reflecting that a
Yeah.
lot because you had a lot of soft hits, soft songs, pop songs, love songs. And Cinemary was different, but Bailefunk made you really grow up somehow. I think that's what I saw at your release party, that your whole vibe was just different. Although you're still the good guy doing all of that you always do, but even your sound, the bass was so much heavier than
Yeah.
what you're used to doing and stuff. So it made you mature somehow. Like
Definitely.
and I introduce your music to older audience now. And I can play it at weddings where people are like, oh, what is this? You know, the way your music changed, or it has so many different facets, like the pop thing being whatever it is, but you always had this Desi sound in your vocals. Like you have a very distinct way of singing, but we heard you doing Desi stuff later in your career. And that was very fun for me to actually experience, because you made a post about your mom being extremely proud of you because finally you were doing something that the family back in Pakistan could relate to. We would love to hear that story.
Oh, that's a long story.
Yeah, okay.
But because living in Denmark, having roots from Pakistan and the East, I've always felt like I have a foot in both worlds. So obviously in my uprising, I wanted to distance myself actually from my Desi roots in my music. Now reflecting back, that was like, I would really much try to not be seen as a Pakistani singer, but just like as a singer or a Danish singer or something like that. But there was this trip back to my family in Pakistan, which was also a solo trip actually. So I would recommend that to everyone, do some solo trips. I did one trip back to my family in Pakistan, which really changed the way I thought of music, I think. I just felt like it ignited something in myself that I wanted to create, to do something that they could relate to. Because they didn't understand the Danish music that I was doing, which my mother was a part of. She didn't understand that. And I did not know back then that how good it would feel to create something that was true to my roots, you know? I didn't give that much of a thought. I just felt like, oh, I need to make this music. So when I came back, I hooked up with Ramses, and we had one session. And I'm telling you, it was one of the best sessions because I've never created a song so fast, such a vibey song, such a colorful and joyful song. It was Bachke Bachke.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is still one of my favorite songs that I've ever made, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that session was amazing, and I already knew, okay, this is something that I need to take serious.
Yeah.
But it was like flash forward to, I've been to India with the team and got a contract, and it was Corona. And then we're releasing the song, and I remember the change in the way my mother spoke about my music after that. Now, when I release the songs, it was a thing that we sit down in, like a family in the living room, and we watch the music video together like a premiere, you know?
Yeah.
So that's becoming a thing now, which is really nice. So in many ways, my family is all on board now, and my mom can proudly say that my son does music now, because she understands what it is now. She understands what to put it up against and how it sounds and sonically and stuff. She can, and she also tells me that the Bailefunk things I do, some of it, she doesn't understand the rap thing, and so don't do that. And yeah, so it's just nice to have him on board.
Yeah, I understand. I completely understand. My dad is still like, you're such a disappointment. You never did
Oh.
anything Desi. But like, that's okay, because, you know, I also do music once in a while, and it's just for whatever cause I have, like, personally. It's not to make any career out of it, like, seriously. Unless somebody, you know...
Unless Timbaland called you and say...
yeah, right now, actually. It's a little bit, I have a different feeling now, because somebody listened to my music that is very recognized, and they're like, hey, we like that. So that's, for me, different. But I'm like, our Desi parents, I think... You said something before that I could relate to, that there was a point where I didn't really want to be so recognized with my culture. And there's a lot of reasons for that, personally for me, but I would like to know why for you.
Now we're going very like psychological.
We
Looking
have
back at
deep
my
talk.
traumas as a child. No.
Okay, I see.
No, but truly, I think reflecting back, I think it's because when I was growing up in college and stuff, all of the mainstream artists back then in Denmark, which has made it, they were Danish. They were like Nick and Jay and Rasmus Seebach and Ankerstjern. But we had Burhan G and Outlandish and those, you know. So there were some, but even I remember Burhan G was very Danish in his appearance and his music especially. He didn't have so much of his roots in it, you know. And I was very inspired by Burhan G. Burhan G. Burhan G. Burhan Bhai Ji.
Yeah.
So I think just to fit in that industry, just to fit in that puzzle, I felt like I needed to be more Danish. And to be honest, I am very Danish in my vocabulary and in my thinking. Like, I'm born and raised here, so I have that side as well. So I just thought that it was more correct to be that if I wanted to make it. Not knowing that the world would change, and now it's so much like enriching to be from wherever you are and put that onto the table and stuff, you know. Today's time, I would say, is a very unique time for artists to just explore roots and to be more true to what they want to do, actually. Yeah.
In Denmark, I think it was very hard to figure out like what is the right way to actually just approach this culture thing. So I'm very happy about this time that we're living in now. It's a little bit sad that it's more acceptable when it becomes trendy. That's my only problem. But it really gives room for people like with different cultures to grow and to be authentic. I think that's the thing that we're mostly interested in, is that the authenticity should also come from how you think. And you say you're brought up in Denmark, so your thinking is Danish because your language is also mainly in Danish. You think differently as a Pakistani because the language has so many other nuances, and the vocabulary also has a lot more depth to it. So for me to embrace my culture also meant that I had to understand the language and the nuances of the language. And I think that's why I think it's amazing to hear you write in Punjabi and in Urdu, because it resonates in a different way than in English and in Danish.
Yeah, and you're allowed to say things in a different way. You're allowed to do much more romantic stuff, or say things in a manner that in Danish that would be so yuck. Like, you wouldn't be able to say those things. So it's very giving to do it.
Yeah.
To try it out.
Something like ripping my heart out, throwing it on the floor, stepping on, something like that, right? It would sound a little bit
Bollywood.
cringe when you say it in English. We're talking about culture. And culture is a lot of things. We're doing this show because we want to actually combine it on one big platter. So music goes very good hand in hand with food, and culture and food is like also identity for a lot of people. So you were talking about Indian food. Let us know about your experience on that.
That was secretly one of the main reasons I took to India now. But really, that was actually like one of the things I wanted to prioritize, because I had a whole list I wanted to try and stuff. I've been to Pakistan as well, and I think Indian food is better.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you need to go there and try for yourselves. It's really good. I think one of the main reasons for that could be, I'm not sure, but many are vegetarians and vegans and stuff. So they use the spices in a way because, I don't know if they want to compensate for stuff, but they're masters in using the spices in dishes, so simple dishes like aloo palak or something like very simple. But it's just so amazing. The flavors are so rich and spicy.
Okay.
And I love spicy food. But also this time around, I had the chance to try vada pav, and it was amazing. Like, and I had a food poisoning as well, which is a part of the experience.
It is, definitely.
Yeah, so, but other than that, I would say I have like a favorite thing. It's like my favorite all-time thing in the world, which is faluda.
Faluda.
Yep. So I had like one faluda a day for a month.
Really?
Really.
You don't think that's why you had that?
No, to be honest, when I had my food poisoning, I couldn't get anything down. Like, I couldn't eat. I didn't have any appetite. But faluda was the only thing that I wanted to eat.
Oh,
Yeah.
comfort food.
It was so delicious. And I'm so sad that we don't have a faluda place here.
That's an amazing
If there's something that's coming out of this podcast, it should be someone should open a faluda place in Denmark.
My friend yesterday, she was like, Simon, we need to do some business together. I was like, okay, maybe this could be a good idea. And do a faluda shop.
Yeah, I will heavily promote it and be your first customer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we should consider that.
You should.
His mom is an amazing cook. Like, she does catering. I don't know if you know Uznama Baji.
Yeah, I know
She
her.
does a lot of that. Maybe she could implement faluda in her cooking.
I'll tell her, put it on the menu.
If I knew you loved it so much, I would have done something.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. I don't even know what's like the recipe for faluda. I know there's some spaghetti thing and some black seeds in it. But to be honest, I just enjoy it. So
Okay.
if someone can make it, I would be
Oh,
very
definitely.
happy.
Oh, we will find somebody.
Yeah,
Okay, next time we'll invite you for a dinner party.
Okay.
So we do the buffet in another way, and maybe in a sitting where you can do a live song or something. Because it's a
Okay.
shame that we're not gonna hear you sing, or maybe we are in the challenge. We're gonna
Maybe
do
not.
a
Let's
musical
see.
challenge.
Oh.
But before we do that, we are doing a segment about food, and for that today we have Subhan from.
Grillaz. Grillaz is this amazing burger place that I've been eating at for very, very long, actually, since they opened.
Really,
Yeah, it's great.
it's great.
It's great.
Okay, today I'm depending on you because I haven't tried it. I've only heard.
You haven't?
No, I know. It's
You
a
have
shame.
something to look forward to then.
Because Subhan is also a very close friend, like a
Yeah,
brother,
yeah.
like actually like a nephew, because he was brought up with my nephew. So we're looking forward to that. And before he comes in and introduces his amazing burgers and stuff, we would like to know, like, if you had to give yourself a dish as an artist, which dish would you give yourself?
Like, I become a dish? Okay. Can I say faluda? I really feel that resonates with my personality because it's both like sweet and colorful.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's also cold. Yeah, I would say faluda.
It's also cold.
No, but it's chill.
It's
Yeah, it's chill.
That's true. You're very chill. Not
Yeah.
cold.
No,
like-
not cold in that sense. And yeah, it's just, it spreads a lot of good vibes, I think.
To get back to food. Today, as we said, we have Subhan from Grillaz. I think he brought different burgers, and I wanted to dedicate a burger for you because Subhan really told me about the different ingredients, and for me, you're the All Stars burger. That is the
Wow.
dish. That is the dish.
Wow.
Wow, this looks amazing. Welcome to Subhan.
Hello, chef.
What's good?
Chef Subhan today. Subhan, can you please introduce for us what's on the table? It looks amazing, by the way.
Thank
Wow.
you. So we got our All-Star over here, probably our best-selling product. It's more of a spicy burger. The flavor in it is basically we've got Cheetos in it, the flaming hot Cheetos. Just to give it both crunchiness in it because you don't really get that in the burger, especially when it comes to beef. So we wanted to try something different, and it's apparently working. So probably one of our best-selling products. On the right side of it, we've got our smash burger, which is another fan favorite of ours. It's like a slappy burger. You just want to get in, get your burger, get out. It's like a good alternative to a shawarma. It's like a handheld burger, not too big, not too small, but enough to fill your belly. Over here, we've got our crunchy clutch, which is our fried chicken. We do it ourselves. Another keynote: everything is homemade, so the sauces and the batter and all that, nothing is bought. Frozen in anything.
Okay. No processed food.
No.
Amazing.
It's very important. I'm very proud of it. This is actually a discontinued product. We're going to make it a bit more different in the future.
Okay.
With coleslaw in it.
How is that standing like that?
Yeah, like this is a mountain of food.
Yeah, so the beauty of cheese.
Okay.
Giving it up.
All right.
Over here we got our steak showdown, which is our flank steak. We get a pretty big piece of it every second day.
Yeah.
And then we cut ourselves to make sure that we can control the fat in the meat.
Wow.
We don't want too much. We don't want a little of it. We want enough so it's juicy and tender. And over here we've got our groovy grill, which is our peri prime chicken. Hasan's favorite, basically.
Oh yeah, closest to me.
So basically a spicy chicken. Again, not too much. We're working on a peri factor, so for more spicy people, tune it up. And for those who just want a small hint of spiciness, we're gonna dim it down. But that's basically some of our products on our.
It looks amazing, and it looks like different art pieces, to be honest with you. It's so beautifully made and so beautifully served. Thank you so much. I can't wait to dig in, like, while they're hot. So which one do you recommend, especially for someone like me who has never tried your burgers before?
Would definitely recommend you the smash
smash?
first. Yeah, because it's like for me it's a snack basically.
Yeah?
We got 2 flat patties. The whole concept behind smash is basically smash the patty down.
Yeah.
So it's not beautiful to look at.
No.
It has to be sloppy, it has to be juicy, it has to be crunchy at the same time. So it's an art in itself. So yeah, we're pretty proud of it.
And have you tried all of them?
No, I have only tried the peri peri burger, which also contains Cheetos, right?
Yes, it does.
So we have this.
So this one is the closest, and that's where my eyes are. So
Okay. Okay, let's do it like that. And Muneeb, you get the biggest one. Also, because if I'm gonna try to eat that, it's gonna look so ugly on camera. Rather that you do that than I do. Okay, let's go for it then. Let's go.
Yeah, dig it, guys.
Okay. Thank you so much. You want to join us for the food?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna have it later. So.
Okay, let's try. You want to go first?
yeah, everybody watch me eat.
Yeah.
Damn.
So there's actually an art behind eating a burger. You actually flip it the other way around. I'll show you,
Okay.
yes. And your little finger, put it in the back over here so you basically support the burger underneath. There you have it. Reason being, the salad won't slide out and the beef won't slide out.
Oh.
Wow.
There's an art behind it, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
There's
It's a
actually
whole technique. Wow.
there's a research done behind that, basically.
Mmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, damn.
Mmm. It's very much like the peri, but with beef.
Yeah, exactly.
Beef.
But you know what? I like beef more than chicken, so I think this is my new favorite.
Is it?
Why haven't I tasted this one?
Mate, you got your own thing here with yourself.
Wow. Amazing.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Jalapenos
okay.
as well?
Yeah.
Spicy.
It's called all stars, right?
The
This is the burger I dedicated to Hasan. So it has everything in it. The spices, and does it have sweetness? Because it's very sweet.
So basically the bun, it's a brioche bun, so the sweetness comes from the bun.
See? This is intuitive. I'm so intuitive.
Overlay is basically sweet, and when you come inside, it's the spiciness.
Hey.
I
like that. Oh,
So that's
it's
a
crazy.
perfect burger
It's really
to
good.
give you, actually.
Yeah.
I dedicate this dish personally.
Thank you.
As if I cooked it. Okay, I'm
No.
gonna try mine now.
Mm.
Smash burger.
That's a small bite, though.
Because I have a small mouth.
Okay, fair enough.
Not when I start talking though. This is amazing. You know why? Because it reminds me of the cheeseburgers and hamburgers that we're not allowed to have, but that really taste good. So this is like the perfect substitute, or even better. This is perfect. Like, this is very nice.
Thanks.
I'm excited to see how you're gonna eat that.
Ja.
Push it down.
Ja, men
Flip it up. And do the
som
same
man
thing.
bliver forvirret.
Yeah, basically
Okay.
like that.
Okay,
Turn it around.
Okay,
Yes. Put your little finger in the back of it. Like that. Yes.
okay.
And your thumb, push it down as well, and then go nuts, buddy. Don't bite your index finger though.
Wow, that was beautiful. You took a nice bite.
Wow.
In all fairness, I cut it in half every time I eat it. So
Maybe that's gonna be easier to eat if we do that.
Wow,
actually.
10 out of 10.
Wow, you can really taste it. Like the everything is fresh, but it has like that commercial taste that
Yeah.
is very important. I didn't expect that, to be honest with you.
thanks.
I expected it to be more homemade,
Yeah.
but this is like very commercial in its taste,
I think
in the best way possible.
To be honest, I think it's the pickles that does it.
Yeah?
I'm so proud of our pickles, man.
You grow them in your garden?
That sounds so sweet.
I know, I swear to God. No, they're not homemade, unfortunately, but I think we spent 3 or 4 weeks just on the pickles. We had like numerous jars in the shop, like glass jars, like shit, what are we gonna do with these now?
Yeah.
It took us, I think, 3 or 4 weeks just to find the pickles. So it takes time to figure
Pick the
out.
pickles.
Exactly. Same with the meat, man. It takes time to pick the pickles.
No pun intended.
But I also really love the way that it's like, when you think of fast food, you really think of something that's slapped together really quick.
Yeah.
But having you here telling us what it actually is and that like everything is homemade, nothing is processed, it's like,
I have
I
no
love
shame. I'm
it.
gonna eat.
Yeah, me
really-
too.
yeah, I really love it. Like the way that it's like fast food, but
Not fast.
yeah, but not
Slowly
fast.
cooked.
So that's why we actually we define ourselves as a casual dining instead of a fast food dining.
Yeah.
So because the meat takes time.
Yeah.
It's not like 3 minutes. You can't get your burger in 3 minutes. Yeah.
No, this is really good. This is like also for me. I haven't tasted all of it, but I think I would like to try yours.
Oh,
Can I? Oh, this is gonna be ugly for the camera, but it's okay.
this what it is.
I'm just gonna try it, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. The chicken, bro.
Yeah.
This is next level. This crispy chicken is very, very unique. I don't know how you did it, but you did amazing.
Thank you.
Really taste. It's really, really amazing. 10 out of 10. Go visit Grillaz right now. Today. Okay. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
You want some?
No, I actually want you guys to try this though.
Okay.
So this is basically loaded fries. What you have here is the bottom is fries, twister fries. Some call them curly fries. It's potato basically. On top of it, we've got our flank steak, and this one, which is called the steak showdown, and it's steak. And as I told you, and then we got the groovy grill, which is chicken that we grill on our in-house, obviously, and then coat it, and then start chopping it. So it's not something. Every process has to be done in a specific way to make sure that the chicken doesn't get dry. Same goes for the flank. Cut with big strips. Make sure that it gets still tender and juicy once it gets out. Guys, I really want you guys to try this.
Okay.
These are some of our most
Let's go for
popular
it.
ones.
You want the chicken, huh?
I'll just try it.
Okay. Wow. This also looks like.
I tried this
This is
last
crazy.
time, I think.
Yeah.
It was great.
Okay, I gotta say something. Your prices are too low when you tell me about what all of it takes. This is expensive. Like steak is not.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap. So you guys like. I really like this is like promotion for my brother because this is really, really good. And I'm not just saying it because I have to or something like that. Because like who does that? This is like a Pokeball, but with the most expensive thing you can find in the town.
Yeah, so
Steak.
it's funny you're saying that because we get a lot of rant that we're too expensive.
No, not at all.
You should come and see the processes, man.
No, not at all. Like I did hear that as a rumor. I was like, okay, why is he that expensive? But this makes sense. Like people don't know what it actually takes to create these kind of things and how expensive it actually is.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, have you seen the prices in the markets right now? It's crazy.
So that's the thing, right? So even though I own a restaurant, you think that my prices are cheap. There's no big deal over there, and it's a fact though. Like everything is just going up. So we do earn. Not gonna lie, but it's not big margins. Meaning that our prices are based on the products we purchase, and we're handheld. Like we got some amazing distributors. So in that way, we work with them, and they make sure the quality is there every single time.
Nice.
It is. It's nice.
And if it's not, they know they can't charge me then. But yeah,
This is also very amazing.
You want to try the chicken?
You want to try the steak? Did you try it?
Yeah, I've already tried it before. Try. And for people that are saying that this food is way too expensive, watch this. Listen, you know?
It's because it's a burger. And
Yeah.
you think about fast food when you think about burger, but this is gourmet food. Like,
It is.
appreciate it. You put
Wow.
it in nice. That's how we define it as well. Like gourmet food. Thanks, appreciate it.
10 out of 10. I'm not lying.
We're trying. We're trying to be the best. Long way yet ahead of us. But.
This is amazing too.
No, but the thing is, it's nice to see that you have a very unique concept and you have a very unique burgers, because all of the ones that is in the same price range, they're also kind of similar in many ways. Like they taste somehow similar. Of course, there's some quality that is better, but you like putting Cheetos in a burger, it has a flavor that I've not tasted in any other burgers, or the peri peri chicken you have. So I think distinguishing yourself, that's the one thing.
Yeah, well, we're trying. Like, I'm not gonna lie though, we got some nice competition out there, and they put the standard high.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say I'm the best at all. Like, I'm too early in the process, anyways. But competition in Denmark is really high when it comes to burgers specifically.
You know what? I would have to put it in a more positive way. I wouldn't call it competition anymore, because you guys have different tastes.
Oh, absolutely.
If you were serving like the same thing, then it would be a competition. But I would call it diversity and selection.
Absolutely.
That you have so many different kind of burgers that you can find in Copenhagen. It's amazing. And this is a taste that I've never tasted before. So if I wanted that, I would go to you. So I would look at it differently. And we're actually not doing the show because we want people to think that there's a competition between, you know, the one burger joint and the other, because you do really have different tastes.
I mean, it's nice to have that positive competition, because that means you need to reach higher and higher and higher. You can't just stand there. You gotta move ahead all the time. So I really appreciate it, and whoever's doing their thing out there, kudos.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Makes us push our boundaries way more every day.
To be honest with you, the steak thing was my favorite.
Yeah, I could imagine.
It's
Yeah,
really my
I
favorite.
can
The
imagine.
flavors are amazing.
Yeah.
So I would come there for the grilled food too, because
Yeah.
if you can grill a steak like that,
Yeah.
it's so tender and it has so much flavor, then absolutely you're an expert in grilling.
Thanks.
I just noticed that Grillaz is not about a gorilla, but
Yeah, grill food.
it blew my mind. I was
There's
like,
a reason there's not an O in it. It's called grill.
yeah,
with an
nice
AZ.
one. I didn't pick that one up. Okay.
But yeah, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Like,
Thank you, bro.
Guys, go visit Subhan at Grillaz, and really you should taste this, especially that one too.
But I'm actually happy you didn't come before now. Like, you haven't tasted before now.
This is really authentic. This is my reaction to your food. It's amazing. I wouldn't lie.
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome, guys.
We have some food questions for you. If you had a dish that would remind you of home, which dish would it be?
Aloo palak.
Aloo palak.
My mom's. But when you say home, it's like home where like my mom's place, or home back home country.
You just defined it, so that's cool.
Yeah,
for
I
me.
think both would be aloo palak. So it's also like my go-to Pakistani dish or Desi dish. It's simple and it's comforting. Yeah, I just love it. Yeah,
Okay.
my mom's aloo palak.
Roti or chawal?
Roti.
Roti.
That's,
You should link up with my dad. You would love
Yeah.
him. You would
Okay.
love him. No, seriously. You
All
are like
right.
the same personality, just younger and cuter. My dad was really a hero when he was younger. He also had like
Really?
curly hair. Shout out to my dad. Like, he's the reason why I'm here, right?
Def.
Okay.
big shout out. So the last question is, you've been traveling a lot solo also. So which country's food surprised you the most traveling?
So I had some concerts in the UK, and it's not like English food, but they had this Bangladeshi dish with naga. Have you heard of naga? Naga is like it's from Bangladesh, and it's like a chutney kind of thing that you put on the side of things, or mix it with. You can even have chicken with naga, like spiced with naga.
What is naga?
I don't know. I just know it surprised me a lot, and it was so good.
Wow.
It
Is
was.
it like,
It's very spicy.
so it's a spice?
Like you marinate it with naga. You can
Oh.
have naga like on the side, like as if it was a chutney. So it's like
Basically like a masala.
masala-ish, yeah, but saucy thing.
Okay, a chutney.
kind of.
It's a dressing.
But also they had like a whole chicken marinated in naga, as I remember. But if you ever visit something Bangladesh type of corner or kitchen or anything, ask for naga.
Naga, okay.
Yeah, and don't eat too much of it.
Okay. Yeah. Because you are a singer, and we would love to hear you sing. So we did what do you call
just
it?
the song lyrics game. So I'm just gonna play like the first 10 seconds of a song, and then you're gonna finish it.
No.
I'm really bad at lyrics though, but let's put it on to a test.
I don't believe you. You know why? Because I remember during Corona time,
Yeah.
you were on, was it TikTok or just Instagram Live?
Yeah.
Very often doing that musical thing,
that's
like
true.
musical challenge. That was fun.
That was fun.
That was really fun.
We
You
should
should
do
do
it
that
again. Yeah.
Okay, let's go if you're ready.
So the first song is a poppin' Desi song.
Okay.
So more the Desi vibe.
मेरी खुद से बड़ी दूरी बस तेरी है की हजूरी ज़माना क्या ही समझेगा दिल गवाना क्यों ज़रूरी
Nana, I don't know the rest of it.
Yeah.
But I know the song obviously. It's Diljit, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, that's a point. That is actually.
That counts.
Yeah, it counts.
Ish.
I don't know the lyrics of any songs these days, so if I had any chance, it would be enough. Either that you know the melody, and you also know the artist, and you did know the main two words like Nana and Hasde, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Number 2.
So this is more like a throwback song.
Okay.
she got me thinking about getting involved that's the kind of girl I need
She's got her own thing. That's why I love her. She's Miss Independent.
Yeah.
Something like it's Miss Independent. Yeah, I know that.
I could hear you sing all day.
I took you back. Right? Remember us singing in? Was it like 10, 12 years ago?
I think this was in 2000 and... No, this is a very long time ago.
Did we make music as well? Like try to create some?
You were in my studio once.
Exactly, I remember that.
And you did the alap part for Fana, that song. Yeah, remember that?
I remember that.
Because we wanted to do something fun with it. But I think you did something else. You went into Danish music.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, we were in the studio once.
Yeah.
We should maybe try to do something for fun.
Yeah.
It's another time now, right?
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
busy.
We're two different people now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go with the next one.
I don't think this song needs any explanation.
It doesn't. Okay, this is putting your Punjabi. at a
I'm
test.
so white right now because the only thing I like, why is that the only thing I can sing?
Because that's the only thing anybody can say.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the words. Actually.
No, exactly. So I'm not wrong.
Maybe
Okay.
there's something but I don't even know. I
Yeah.
play it every single weekend because this is a banger that
It
everybody.
is.
Yeah. So
I feel so white right now.
you
But
can sing the verse though. No, the chorus.
no.
That's the title of the song, bro.
Yeah, but मुंडिया तू बच के रही उड़ी 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 हुई मुंडिया मुंडिया तू बच के Okay. Yeah.
He's the best singer, man.
Yeah, and then the next song is actually a song that Didi requested me to put on this challenge.
I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she was like, "You're a big fan of this genre of music and where it comes from." So
take you wonder wonder
No, come again. I have it because I've
Don't play anymore. This is cheating. Hasan, I'm actually a little bit disappointed right
No,
now.
I can. It's because I've heard them in Danish.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
So
that's
this was the challenge.
The
but-
challenge is English. Okay. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. Ingin tasiyana. I don't know the English words, but yeah.
That's good enough. Like that.
Do you know what my favorite Disney song is
Which
to
one?
sing?
Which one? Which one?
Do you remember the Hercules Go the Distance?
Yeah.
That song.
Can we hear a little snippet of it? Because
Like in Danish.
yeah, let's do it in Danish.
Jeg har ofte drømt om et fremmed sted, hvor man venter på mig og siger velkommen hjem. Der hvor folk har plads, lad mig være med. Og med åbne arme, tag imod mig som jeg er.
Wow.
That's my favorite, like.
This is actually how I always imagine you.
Yeah?
Like Aladdin or a figure from Disney.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you have this good vibe and you're so youthful. Forever young, as I said before, baby face. Okay, let's go. Is that the last one now?
So this is the last song, and I actually chose this song because you made a version of it. So it's totally up to you.
Don't the dude out.
No, but like he's gonna get it in a second anyway. So it's totally up to you how you wanna sing it.
Okay.
From diamond eyes, baby, I'm
क्या देखा मेरा फोन मेरी कॉल something wrong baby
Hey.
क्या तुझे परवाह नहीं क्या मेरी गलती थी जब से तू है दूर बस सुकून मेरे दिल ने मांगा क्या तुझे परवाह नहीं क्या मेरी गलती थी. Nice, I love that song.
It was such a nice remix you did of it.
Thank you.
Really amazing. It goes so well, like with your voice.
You know what? She was actually about to release it as an official remix.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we were like a week away from doing it. And then they like shut it down and said, oh, we need to focus on her next single and stuff.
Oh no, that's a shame.
Yeah,
it would
because-
really have been huge.
And she was on the uprise in India at that point. So the timing was perfect. And like her team from, I think it was Sony in the UK,
Yeah.
they reached out to my team and stuff. So we were very close. It could have been a game changer.
It would have been a
Yeah.
game changer. But I loved your version. Like I think
Thank you.
not because People is not a good song, but your version actually upgraded the song.
You think?
I think
the soul of the song, whichever voicing and whichever language you would do it in, it's just the soul of the song is so good. Like
it is. I've always admired your work, Hasan. Also, when you are much younger than I am. Like I'm way too old now to say my age, but I've always looked up to your art and looked up to the way that you evolved and really used your own soul in your music. However you did it. So that's why like all this Disney thing, it was for me because you had created sometimes these universes that were very magical, and you would just watch your videos, your music videos, and drift away. Because a lot of music videos, that's also a very good way of doing it, like a commercial way. It's very fast. Just, you have 0.3 seconds, and then you move on to the next frame. But you always used a lot of storytelling in your videos, and I love that about you and your art. Now we actually did your challenge and heard you sing. We ate food with you. There's so much I would love to continue doing and saying, but we have a limit on the time. So maybe some closing words.
So like, what advice would you give to other artists trying to honor their roots without getting like boxed in?
if you do something that you truly believe in and that you find really, really good, that will exceed any boxes and anything that people will put around you. Because if the talent is so good or if the product is so good, it exceeds languages and even like culture for that matter, like, because it's so universal, you know?
Yeah.
So I would say, don't think too much about it has to be correct and it has to be in a certain way to fit in somewhere, but much rather focus on what are you creating and how do you feel about it, because at the end, even if it's a big success and you are hugely recognized by people, and if you don't feel that song or that product you've made and then you'll have an empty feeling in the end, you know. So I would much rather you create something that you really believe in and that you are proud of, like that resonates with you and your legacy. So I would say focus on that thing first.
That is a great answer because, to be honest with you, and this is a fact, music is the universal language. You would not find another language that is, or maybe the art form that has the most universal potential because its frequency is resonating with people, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you put words to it, and people will maybe resonate more to it. But it's the melodies, it's the instrumentation, it's
the first language as a child, as a baby, you get to understand, you know. So in that sense, it's really, if it connects with a child who doesn't have a language, then it really tells a lot about it. It's very universal.
That's actually really nicely worded. That it's the first language you actually get to know. That's music.
Yeah. Hasan is also very deep.
Oh, you got that side out.
Yeah, we did. Not really. I think it was an amazing answer. Also because I think sometimes when we ask these questions, it's because somebody had a problem being defined in a certain way. So instead of us approaching it, you know, through the lens of a problem, we should just see the potential of whatever music can have, right?
Exactly.
So,
really, it's a very relevant question. I think many people, including myself, sometimes I can even get blinded, like, am I doing the right thing right here, and etc. For instance, with Bollywood, like, I didn't know, is that my persona? Is that correct to do? Is that the right move and stuff? It's very natural to ask these questions, and it's not wrong to ask them, but sometimes you just gotta go with your gut feeling and what you like and what you find interesting, and then things will follow and doors will open and it will make sense in the end. Yeah.
Also, speaking of Bollywood, what would the fans expect from you very soon?
I'm working in the studio, obviously, and I'm working with the sound and the soundscape, and it's gonna be more organic. It's gonna be much more live playable. So it will have like much more guitar and live instruments. So if you guys were hoping for a new Bailefunk EP, that's not in the works. But I will come back to that genre again at some point. But for the next project, it's going to be much more live, I would say.
That's also nice. Like that's amazing for live concerts.
Exactly.
So I can imagine you doing a lot of new concerts.
Yeah, that's where I want to head. Yeah.
No, of course. Thank you, Hasan, for doing an amazing episode with us, for having all the deep talks about your music, about your artistry, about culture, and about language, and for eating our food, because I cooked it personally. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for
Thank you for having me.
And to you guys, make sure to follow all of the handles that I'm gonna put in the description, because Hasan is really, truly an amazing artist. So for the next time on Buffet, stay tuned and
subscribe, tell everybody.
just tell everybody. Tell everybody.
And eat at Grillaz.
Eat at Grillaz. A major shout out to Subhan from Grillaz. Make sure to really check out their burgers. They're amazing. And please subscribe to our channel. We really need you guys. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.
Woo!
All right.